Billy, thank you very much for taking the time out to join us on Killie TV today. It's been a really busy time for everyone at Kilmarnock. How do you reflect then on the past few months?
Past few months been very, very busy. Must admit, I don't think I've worked as hard in my life as what I've done since the last game of last season, and also I don't think I've slept as much either, you know, so it's just all work and home at night, sleep back up again, but the other side of it is it's good. I enjoy it.
Let's then go back to the start of the summer. You and the board had the unbelievable task of trying to fill the boots of Steve Clarke. Talk us through that process. I mean, that must have been really difficult. What was your thoughts and how did it all happen?
Well, it was difficult, but because of the high profile Steve had and the publicity we got with him going to Scotland, we had a lot of applicants, so really we didn't have to go through, you know, putting out applications for the job. The applicants came in, which I think was short of about 60 applicants for the job, all very high calibre applicants. So after that we reduced it down to 11. And then took the time, although not having a lot of time, to sit with those applicants and interview them. So in a day, an 8-hour day, we'd maybe do 2 applicants. In a long day we'd done 3, so we spaced that out over.
It would have been key though to get the right appointment. I think that's the
Oh, it was, yeah, and we took the time to sit with the applicants, and really myself, I felt very privileged sitting in front of some of these guys, you know, because what they could tell you, their experience, you know, it was just mind-blowing.
Sounds fascinating actually, being able on some of these maybe big names that were talked about in the media and with the bookies and stuff, and you're saying that there was, I'm not asking for big names, but
no,
was a good calibre of,
very good calibre. Really, I mean, driving home at night I was actually pinching myself saying, did today actually happen? Was I sitting in front of these guys? So no, it was good, and you know, a great experience.
Certainly a long way from when you first started your tankers to sitting now in front of guys of immense experience in football.
Yes, definitely is. You know, names that every day, you know, you see in the newspapers, and then one day you're sitting in a room across from them. So yes, and to be spending a couple of hours of finding out their experience through their life, it's been really good.
Clearly then the headline then, I think it's fair to say, was from the footballing side, was the arrival of Angelo Alessio as manager. We've now entered into October. Do you maybe now get the sense that he's starting to find his feet now? Yes,
he's finding his feet. He's just been unlucky, you know, coming into the club when he did, short of some players. But, you know, I think he's done remarkably well coming in with the squad he had, done his best. Few results went against us, but no, myself and the board, we're very happy with the progress that's been made with him.
I think a lot of that progress you can see at the moment certainly comes from the defensive line-up at the moment, and the back four and goalkeeper. The amount of clean sheets that we've already managed to amass this season's been phenomenal.
That's right, yeah. It's been good, and it's entertaining football as well. You know, you're watching a nice game which is entertaining, some nice passes, crosses, whatever. It'd just be nice to see some goals at the end of the passes, but we'll get there.
You, at the start of your last answer there, you alluded to that maybe Angelo it was difficult for him at first when he came in, and I think it's maybe safe to say that Europe maybe didn't go as well as what we would have hoped. So how would you maybe then describe that experience, and maybe what lessons have been learned from the journey?
Well, there's a lot of lessons to be learned, because myself, Cathy, Phyllis, this was our first time, you know, being experienced with Europe, and what we were doing about the ground as well. You've got to remember, we laid this new pitch, we refurbished the sports bar, so with lots and lots of work going on, and then having to handle, you know, the trip for Europe, albeit it was Wales. It's still
so regulations and
I mean, I sat in one of the pre-ops meetings down in Rill, and you know, it was 2 hours, and it was a hard 2 hours what they went through. You know, even the goalie gloves, they only were allowed one branding, and they checked everything. So an awful lot of work into it, but we've been there, done it, so hopefully we'll qualify again this season, that we're ready for it.
Certainly more equipped now, and we know exactly what can come of it. And I think maybe even the supporter base, there'll be a lot of supporters that haven't I mean, the last time we were in Europe, I was still really young. I was still at school when we were last in Europe, and I'm in my mid-30s now. So there's a lot of people now haven't really seen that, but we're in a better place for when it happens again. I don't say if, I mean when.
No, absolutely. If it comes round this, the end of this season, we're lucky enough to qualify again. We'll be ready for it.
So safe to say then, Billy, that we're a lot more prepared for Europe when it happens again.
Yes.
Which is a good thing, and fingers crossed, like you say, we can.
Yep. No, we're hopeful. Yep. Hopeful.
Here's hoping.
Yep.
Deadline day then, that's probably the next milestone. It was a very busy deadline day.
Was.
Players coming in, players going out. Sum it up, describe the transfer window.
Very frustrating. I mean, we were in talks with players long before deadline day, doing our best to get them in, but really at the end of it, it came down to the last day before the players would come in to the club. I myself was here till midnight, first time ever. Another experience that I thought I wouldn't have, signing players, loanees, whatever. So yeah, very busy night, and to be honest, I'm very happy with the calibre of loanees that we brought in. I don't think there's one bad guy yet. You've seen two of the players, Boy Hamelin, coming getting signed on a Tuesday, then playing first team on the Saturday after it. Two of them fitted in really well. So it's been a great.
And Dario have certainly. Look as if they've played together for a long time. I think when Dario came in just before the St Johnston game, he slotted in very well away from home, and that was a good win to get. And
it was.
He was quite clearly key in that too.
Yeah, it was solid. Yeah.
So I think it's probably fair to say now we have a profile of player as well. And on the recruitment side of it, then we're pushing behind the scenes. There's lots going behind the scenes at the moment as well, isn't there?
Yes, there is. At the moment, we're looking to employ a football executive. Really, his role is anything to do with kicking a ball. He will be overlooking that and supporting.
So in essence, a head of football operations.
Head of football, yeah, right from the youths up to first team. So we've got this pathway for the youths coming through, and hopefully more of them going to make the first team as well.
Identify. Obviously, we don't want names.
We're in talks at the moment. And
how key is that then for? Obviously, we've brought Karen Costello in, which we'll come to in a second.
Yeah.
How key is that? Obviously, with the chief executive going out, we're bringing in two more, and that's going to add a lot of extra good balance and great brains behind the scenes.
There's a lot more work to be done out there, and we want to be a forward-thinking club as well. We don't want things appearing on us like a January transfer window. We want to be ready for that now. We want to be out there looking at any players that we're looking to bring in January. Head of football, as they say, get ahead of the game. That's exactly what we want to be doing, and raising the bar as well. The reserves doing great, but I would like to see a better quality in the reserves so that they're ready to step up for the first team, so that we're not so reliant upon loans as well. So that if we did, for example, if we do qualify for Europe next year, we're ending the season with a team. We've not got 6 loans going back, and we're not starting the beginning of the season with.
Does that make it as part of an overall business model then as well? If you've got players coming through, you look later on at if they perform well, they sell on, and the money goes back in towards the likes of that. Is that part of the thinking behind that?
Well, we've never put that in our business plan, because really at the end of the day, the players are there, and if there's somebody there interested in them, they'll come along. But unless there's somebody there interested in them, they're of no value. They're only of value to a club that really wants them.
And we mentioned Karen Costello, who's come in now as club secretary, I think 34 years or so at the Scottish FA. She's already making a big impact behind the scenes that supporters maybe won't see.
No, she's very organised. Her experience tells. She's very laid back and forward-thinking girl again. Very ahead all the time.
A fantastic appointment, you would say?
Yes, I would say a fantastic appointment, yeah.
We've also seen, Billy, a range of off-the-field improvements away from the stadium and away from what we can see around about us. Let's maybe talk about some of the work which is about to begin. We've got a new safe standing area as well. It's a project that you're really and anytime that we've spoke away from here, you're very passionate about the safe standing.
Yes, it's to make the experience better. For the supporters, I mean, the area we've identified in East Stand, we've got a crowd that stand there during the games, are very vocal, good bunch of guys as well. So for them to be able to come along and stand and, do their singing, their chanting, whatever they want to do. Bang their drum. We've been told to sit down all the time. That'll help them even more. And the safe standing that we're doing in the Moffat stand. And really that for me is to try and educate young fans so that they're in the Moffat stand with their parents, and when they get old enough that they don't want to be with their parents, that they're getting a bit of experience in the Moffat stand, and when later on they want to go to the stand with their friends when they leave school.
So it's in essence a little bit of life skills for those in the family stand.
That's the way I would look at it, yeah.
The parents can still keep an eye on them, they're only maybe 10, 20 yards away or so. And, and there's a lot more stadiums across Europe. You see it at Celtic Park, there's loads of places are installing these things, but you say it's keen to the match day experience, which we've ramped up and improved a lot, especially with the fan zone behind the Moffat stand too.
I mean, the Ross County game the weekend there, I had a look over at a Moffat stand and there was a lot of people in it, and that really, it shows that we're doing the right thing to bring the
what you said at the end of last season, taking a stand.
And it was filled. I don't know the numbers that was in it, but there must have been easily a good 500 kids and families over there, and we can only improve in that now.
So we've touched on then the head of football operations, and you're saying you've kind of given me a broad overview, but do you think it maybe shows a bit of ambition? We'll look into maybe the tasks that person will do, but does that maybe show ambition, Billy? Because a lot of the bigger clubs in Scotland maybe have a director of football type thing, or a head of football operations, and big clubs in England and Europe. So does that show a lot of ambition from the board as well as forward thinking?
Yeah, I mean, so we want to be out there, we want to be out scouting, looking at other players as well, because we have risen the calibre of player that we're signing now, so we need to go out and find more of this sort of level of player to come in. So yeah, I mean,
what would you expect from you'll be sitting down with Phyllis, with Cathy, writing effectively a job description for a job this club has never ever seen in its 150-year history. So what are you looking for? What are the jobs? And let's say you've given us that overall. What the day-to-day tasks?
It's consistency, really. I mean, we mentioned players might come and go. If a player does go for whatever reasons, that we have somebody ready to slot in behind them, that it's not panic stations. We're short of this position, obviously injuries as well, so we want to be really forward thinking and outsourcing replacement players, so we've got a plan B and likely a plan C as well,
plan D and E as well.
Yeah, so that that we're thinking January time, whatever player we've got.
So we're looking, in essence, you would say we're looking now towards January.
If
a head of football comes in, then there'll be a scout, an improved scouting network. On top of that, obviously we lost our head of recruitment, so this is going to cover a whole multitude of areas behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's right. To begin out and doing a lot of groundwork, who are the future players for Kilmarnock Football Club, and not just really first team, through the youth, the reserves, from the bottom to the top, because we want to be raising the bar in all the levels.
It's a big job.
No, it's a big job, and
so you're in essence then it's somebody that will be committed, that understands football, and but also at the same time has to fit within the framework and the ethos of the club.
Yeah, as I would say, a doer, somebody that's going to get on and do it and embrace what there is out there, and the way we are as a board, we leave people to get on and do these things. We don't micromanage, so get out there, look at whatever players that we're needing, whatever to fill the gaps, just get out and get it done and get the names there so that we're forward thinking.
So I think as well, Billy, the board have been really busy, as we found out, but building the infrastructure of the club. You want to be forward thinking, there has to be a legacy as well for the time comes when all three of you are perhaps not on the board. But we've got the new pitch, new ticketing system, the new gym facility which we can see over your shoulder, and the hospitality lounges as well. So there's a lot going on, and just how important is all of that to you and the board's vision to the future?
Well, at the end of it, it's what makes the place work. We're into improving, just everything about Rugby Park. We moved the gym to the side of the pitch so that when the players are training, that the physios can watch the players train as well, that they're not away somewhere else. So, but we've brought everything, round about here. This is our training centre, new pitch, so they've got the best of facilities here. The ticketing is really to make the ticketing easier for everybody. It's a fantastic system. Yes, there's been some teething problems, but the idea now is you can go and buy your ticket on your mobile phone. So easily.
That's fantastic.
It makes it easier.
You have to have a ticket, and I suppose maybe in a sense that maybe cuts down on costs as well. It's maybe costs that you don't need to put out, or maybe not having the physical ticket, and it makes things a little bit more streamlined and easier.
It makes the whole job more efficient. That if we do have a game, we're not big queues for tickets. People want to buy tickets. A lot of people can just go and purchase them on their phone, pay for them, and then come along. And there are people that still want to come to Rugby Park and buy their tickets, so they can still do that, but hopefully not have to queue as long for that as well. So that makes the whole coming to Rugby Park a lot easier for everyone.
It improves the match day experience effectively as well. If it's easier for them to get their ticket and come in and just get in the gate a little bit quicker and a bit smarter, they can get themselves
that's right. Come and enjoy the game. The new function suites again is just match day. Make it far better and enjoyable for.
I think a lot of people probably haven't seen the new, as everyone has known it before, the Park suite, but it's the new 1869 suite. And I think the work that's been done in there has been second to none.
Yes.
There's a new bar in it. It's a lot bigger, or it certainly seems a lot bigger, fresher. It's been modernised. The same with the return of the Killie Club as well. So there's lots going on.
There is, and it's to bring more people about the club as well. I mean, we're also doing functions in these suites as well now. So again, it raises revenue for the club, builds the club, and the bigger the club gets,
Ultimately,
the better for everyone, the better the squad, and whatever, and it just filters through the whole club.
So Billy, I think it's safe to say it's been a bit of a roller coaster last few months, hasn't it?
Yes, it's been really incredibly busy here, and we've learned from all our lessons from our experiences over the last couple of months, but we're all really positive, for the club going forward.